Thanks for joining me today. So, if you're like me and you shoot, high volume weddings or high volume events, and you usually have large uh, images to call through at the end of the day, um, this is something that will really help your workflow in Lightroom. I have 3 steps that you need to do to totally enhance the performance of your Lightroom when calling through files. So, for starters, this is just something that applies to Mac users. I haven't quite dabbled in the Windows operating system with Lightroom to find a way to optimize it. But for Mac user, this is an excellent way to optimize your Lightroom going forward. You know, in the past that I've heard people complain about the performance of Lightroom, and even to the point where they suggest alternatives like Photo Mechanic and all that. But for me, I like, for my workflow, I like a one-stop shop where I put all my files and where I deal with all my files. I don't like switching between applications, even to the extent where I do not use Photoshop. I tend to do everything I need to do in Lightroom. So, if you're like me and just love doing things in one place and you would love to call in Lightroom with better performance, this is all you need to do to really enhance your Lightroom performance. So first things first, we will open Finder and navigate to the Applications folder. And in the Applications folder, we will click on Adobe Lightroom. And on the Lightroom application icon, you would right click, you go to Get Info, and in the window, you would make sure that you check Open in Low Resolution. Now, what this does is exactly what it sounds like. It opens up, going forward, your Lightroom will open up in low resolution mode. So all the graphics, the text will be a little bit more less sharp and crisp, but it doesn't affect. I do not believe, anyways, that it affects the way your images look in Lightroom when you're editing. So let's go ahead and open up Lightroom. So once you've opened up Lightroom and you'd like to import an image, the first step is first when you're done shooting and you're importing or you're moving your images from your SD card, you should move them to an external hard drive. If you do redundancy, then remove them to all your other redundant hard drives. And when you're ready to export, when you're ready to import into Lightroom, import from the hard drive to Lightroom. And what happens is the raw files will live on the hard drive. And when you import, you'll be importing using Smart Previews. So, you click Import, you will check Build Smart Previews. And once Lightroom imports them, what will happen going forward is you'll be editing those smart previews versus the actual raw file. And the trick is you check build smart previews, you select standard here, build previews, but you select standard previews. Okay, so you'll be building 2 types of previews, standard previews and smart previews. And once you hit import and it comes time to edit, you disconnect that external drive and edit just your previews. Now, smart previews are like basically a high fidelity JPEG that gives you a little bit more bandwidth or room to play with the file than a standard JPEG will. So you edit those files, and when you reconnect your hard drive come time to export, those changes you've made to that smart preview will be copied onto the raw file. So at no point when you're editing and calling do you have to touch the raw files directly. So this is kind of how you bypass working with huge files that slow your computer down. I generally shoot with 36 megapixel files, and I have up to 4,000 to 6,000 images in my gallery. And if I have a second shooter, then go up to 9,000, depending on how heavy handed they are. And working through that kind of uh, that file size with you know the sluggishness that we've known Lightroom to have, it can be a real pain. So once you've done these things, once you've built your smart previews and you've built your standard size previews, um, you should have a similar performance to what I'm about to show you. So this wedding is a wedding that has been shot and delivered, but I was able to call it down to 823 images from about 9,000, and this is essentially how an 8,000 image uh, gallery will perform after those changes. It doesn't matter that it's only 823 now. So this is generally the performance to expect when calling in library mode. So all I'm going to do now is I'm going to click on the first image and I'm going to hit the right arrow to just kind of, scroll through all of them. And what you results in is a high efficiency Lightroom. Super fast, super quick, barely any load times between images. That was the end of the gallery. And I'm heading back now. Normally you might even see those loading between images when you're clicking, but now it's like lightning fast, and it just blows through. And to prove that these are the files that are editable, um, I will go to the developer console and you can see that I can edit these files. They're all editable files. So yeah. So let me know what you think in the comments. If you have any additional questions, please let me know. Um, I I hope this has been helpful. It really is helpful for me. I definitely love doing all my work in Lightroom. And if you guys have any additional things you might want to see me do, as it pertains to Lightroom or any other thing, just put it in the comments and I'll see how I can accommodate all those requests. The idea of this platform is for us to continue to grow together, for me to be able to address things, and also for me to learn through teaching. So definitely let me know. I hope this helped. If you are a Windows user and you found a way to, you know, produce a similar result, especially in the area of opening it up in low resolution mode on the Windows machine, because I do know that you can do the rest of the previews in Windows. Just the other part is the low resolution mode. But if you figure that out, you should be able to share with people in the community that might need it. But other than that, thanks for stopping by. I hope this was helpful. Looking forward to the next videos we create together. All right. Bye.